how I knew this song. I made it through the wilderness.
Like a Virgin
I didn't know. Because
by Madonna?
we had the Shrek karaoke, and at the time, you get to the VHS. At the end of the VHS, they would be like, "Hello, everybody, I'm Donkey, and we're gonna be doing a whole bunch of songs for you." And then,
Donkey sounds like Shrek.
no, Shrek was saying it.
Okay.
And he's like, "Don't go changing to try to please me. You never let me down before." Oh, and then the Cameron Diaz pops in and goes, "I made it through the wilderness." And my mom broke the table. It's actually that table over there. She broke that table and we all died. But that was her part. She goes, "I made it through the wilderness. You know I made it through. You never knew how lost I was until I found you." And then next was my part.
I just want to point out that your mother was singing Like a Virgin, touched for the very first time.
My next part was, it goes boom, 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 boom. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny when a girl walks in with HIV. With HIV, I think.
What?
I don't know. I forget the words because it busts in with, "You know we want to take it to the YMCA." And then Donkey's like, "Sing with us, YMCA." And then they just do a chorus where everybody sings together. And then everybody in the household would then dance around the house singing the end tune. Hello, welcome to Fresh Death Comics. I'm your host, Bluke.
And I'm Amy.
And we're here to talk comics and pop culture for you. We had a little bit of reminiscing. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But the reason I'm bringing up reminiscing, because for me, my very first theater movie
was
The Lion King. And I bring up, I was thinking about Shrek because we didn't watch, my mom went to go visit her cousin who was, who had cancer. So they went to go see him. And my dad was like, "Let's go to the movie theaters." And we had to choose between Shrek and Atlantis the Lost Empire. I heard Shrek had a lot of dirty words in it and a lot of inappropriate jokes. Those in the windows. So
innuendos.
You know, the coitus jokes.
Innuendos, not in the window.
Yeah, you're in the window looking through at the dirty jokes, like like a peeping Tom. Like through the window.
0 cents, but okay.
That's how I imagine it. So we chose Atlantis because A, Michael J. Fox, B, it sounded like a better movie, and B, Tom and Katie didn't want to watch it. Because we had to watch X-Men the night before, and they got really mad at my dad. Like, you poisoned our ears. Anyway, I'm off track. Anyway, back to The Lion King. The reason I mentioned The Lion King is I have a little special heart because it's the first movie I ever saw in theaters. I saw it with Thomas sitting off to my left, my grandmother sitting off to my right, and then I believe it was Katie, my mom, my dad, or it might have been Katie, my mom, my dad. But I feel like Tommy and Katie sat together. So they were probably moving around a lot. So maybe that's why I'm messing it up. Or maybe I sat next. I don't remember where I sat. It doesn't matter.
You went to a theater.
How does The Lion King begin? Like, it's the most, to me, it's how, like, I knew a movie was beginning. It goes, and we all have made jokes about this. Like, "I love Amy, and she's my favorite one. Yum." There is a Zimbabwe comedian who they asked him, they said, "Would you translate what The Lion King is saying? Like, we all have heard it. Like, we all try to say it, but, we can't. What would be the English translation?" And he goes, the original translation is, "Oh, look, there's a lion. It's a lion. Yeah." The composer got so mad at this joke because he's like, it doesn't mean that. It means there comes majesty. Look at this royalness popping through. He's like, got this whole explanation. He goes, no, this is what those words mean. You can make it how it sounds to what you want, but like, this is how it is. So right now, like, he was in the middle of stand up and he got served like millions of dollars for this joke.
Really?
Yeah, because according to the composer, he has lost apparently almost as much as we are in millions of dollars since his joke has come out.
$30 million.
Correct. So he's lost, and he's like, this is how much he owes me for defamation, for character assassination, because Disney hired me as the person who wanted to open up this movie in an awesome way, and I put my heart and soul into this, and for him to degrade it and just saying like, oh look, there's a lion, ooh, is very degrading to the Disney jokes. This is the most insane thing I've ever heard, because this is part of free speech, is it not?
Also, this isn't actually the first time I've heard this. I've heard that, like, a rumor that that's basically what the translation was. So, if it doesn't matter if this guy's been making the joke, this is the first time he made the joke, there's rumblings somewhere.
Well, he's been doing this joke for maybe a year. I don't know. This is the first time I've heard of it, so the fact that lawyers were involved takes a little bit of time for a judge to approve it, for it to get somewhere. So let's say it's been maybe a year he's making this joke. He went on some podcasts and talked about it. But I agree with you. It was way before then. I remember, because that's where the joke
showing up on Tumblr, like... That was...
Like, that's why we started making jokes of, I love Amy, it's just my favorite one, because it was just like, oh, there is a lion, there he is. Like,
yeah, like, look, this thing's gonna get thrown out, I guarantee you.
Because in their world, I mean, there's a lot of things, like, he talks about how, like, really messed up the Lion King is, how, like, the only Zimbabwe character is the monkey. Because... of a whole African cast, you would think they all Americans, most of them white, and then the one Zimbabwe character is the baboon.
I mean,
and he was like, "This is from the same guy," and so I was like, "Man, he might have a point."
Yeah, So, Bluke, I've been inspired since our last conversation.
Inspired by the Lion King?
No, inspired by our talk of comics. I started reading some comics this week.
Whoa! Yeah. I guess you're just going to kick right off then.
I am. Kick.
I'm going to shut up.
Good. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm very excited because Web of Venom came out this week. Why I've been particularly excited about it is because Jordan Morris from Good Mythical Morning actually wrote this comic, which is pretty fucking cool. Did you get a chance to?
I did. I looked at it. I'm gonna let you guys right now. I give it my fresh seal of approval before we get into this. But yeah, I like I said, I don't like to read before time who's doing what, and like if I see it, cool, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, you got to prove yourself. So I saw it, but I wasn't exactly sure, because fun fact, there's a Ralph Macchio who is the editor in this book. It is not the same Ralph Macchio that does the karate.
Wax on, wax off.
So I wasn't 100% sure, and I read the book before time, and then afterwards I went back to check, and sure enough, it is. Yes. So super stoked. I was excited once I found out.
Super stoked, yes. And this isn't Jordan's first foray into comics. He also wrote for Archie Horrors. So I'm just excited to see him do more than just a little short story. And we definitely were able to do it. I also want to shout out art by Luke Ross and Ramon Rosales. And this one, I thought it was really cool. I was very excited about A new symbiote.
One that we've never seen before.
Yeah, so this character, Fred Myers, I don't know if does this name sound familiar to you?
Yeah, it's Boomerang, y'all. Boomerang is one of the Spider-Man OG C-list villains. Like,
Mhm.
he's that villain that shows up before the big baddie. Like, he's that mid-level bad guy who shows up and he throws boomerangs. Fun fact, he used to play baseball for the Mets.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
there's actually it's one of my favorite issues of Spider-Man. It's this three-way story about like an event that happened and how Boomerang had his story, J. Jonah Jameson had his story, and then Spider-Man had his story of what actually happened.
Oh.
And it's one of those like once you hear everyone's story, the puzzle piece fits all together kind of thing. And it starts out with him like at the Mets stadium being like, I used to be somebody. I love this place. So I just absolutely love Boomerang.
So I'm sure you were. I know you were shocked because I think I was in the same room with you when you started reading Web of Venom.
I was, because there was a series written by Nick Spencer and Steve Lieber called The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It was about basically these C-list characters that like we've been seeing in Spider-Man, like the Beetle that's been in the Gang Wars, Doomsday's
Yeah.
daughter. That's where like I don't want to say got her popularity, but like that's where she comes from. Shocker was in the group. I'm trying to think of everybody, but I think Vulture, one of the Vultures was, but it was amazing. It was so funny. Like if you want just to enjoy a comic book, like their goal was their goal was the ransom, get the ransom. And they're like, who could we ransom and not get in trouble for?
Mhm.
And they go, we could steal, because there's only one person who has ever seen Dr. Doom's real face, and they painted a portrait of it.
Mhm.
And when Doom's face got all messed up, they determined that actually, why I tell this story. I love Steve Lieber so much. When I was in Rose City, I got this. You want to hold this up as I'm talking, because I love this thing. Yeah, this is Boomerang. This is the guy we're talking about. So they have this plan that they're going to rob Doctor Doom because of his face, and once his face gets burned, he doesn't want anyone to see what he looks like. So like we steal this painting, or at least take a picture of it, show what he used to look like. Boom, money. And it's just this comic adventure that never goes right. Like they find it, but it's not the real one, and someone like it's just this whole hijinks, and it's amazing. And Steve Lieber is amazing as well, and I love.
Yeah, so Fred Myers, former roommate of Peter Parker, becomes symbiote Spider-Man when his buddy Overwatch gets a not so legal enhancement operation.
Listen, I told you these are all like C-list villains. How can they compete with like Venoms? You have these god characters. Like everyone's getting amped up in their powers. We saw this the last time during the gauntlet that Spider-Man went on, where he had to face all these villains, and every villain that he was facing ended up getting an upgrade. So that's where the Lizard becomes super lizardy now. Kirk Connors is gone, and he's murdered his son and wife. Like that's where Shocker has more powers now. Like they amped everybody up. And I feel like this is like the next evolution of amping everyone's power out. But imagine like Venom boomerangs is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, he basically finds this jar, which I don't. They made a really obvious point to point out that this jar has super powers connected to it because this jar has not been able to talk to anybody and be able to communicate outside of this jar because of what happened with the King in Black series and the All Absolute Carnage event, where Null is able to call every symbiote to him. And this is where on Earth we were finding, like, oh, random people who had gotten touched once by the Venom had this thing called the Codex in them. And so Null was going around taking it out of people. It was the fact that, like, we didn't know he existed is one of those famous Marvel loopholes that we're just going to accept that this is it. This is what happened, everybody. Yeah. You better accept this because this is what happened. So this magical seal, which is awesome and protects us from everything, this thing, Venom thing, could not talk and communicate. And because it's in this thing, somehow Null also knows that it doesn't exist either, because Null has the power to know where all his symbiotes are at all time. So for some reason, he has forgotten that he exists and does no kind of operation plans for him. Even though we've dictated that there's only like a couple of Venoms that have ended up in space, why we've never talked about him? That's a question for another day.
So many. I think this raised more questions than answers.
Listen, I like the book, but like Jordan Morris, he didn't have a choice over this. This is a Marvel executive throwing, hey, you got to put the Venom suit on him, but you got to also figure out like why the Venom couldn't talk to him. And Jordan Morris at this time is working at Good Mythical Morning, probably working his ass off, cannot read probably every single comic to know everything about the lore that I just spat out. Like, this is what he's going to be facing at Comic-Cons.
Oh, I know.
And it's going to be his fault that this canister evolved, and like, this is what he's going to be known for, is this canister. But like, it's the only thing that makes sense. Like, I know it was some kind of like, you got like, this is the story. Who wants it?
Yeah.
And Jordan's like, fine, I'll take it. I can figure it out. Like, canister, like, there's all kinds of magical canisters. Like, this, because this raises so many questions, this could be its own little mini series where we try to find out, like, why didn't we know about Null? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
And I would say the way that he wrote it, I mean, he ended it with a to be continued.
Correct.
Question mark?
That's something in Marvel, when you jump into the pool, most likely you're thrown into an X-Men book or a Spider-Man book. Because there's so many of them, they need writers for short stories and one-shots, and they don't really have time for everybody. Like, all right, Jason Aaron, stop all the books you're writing and do this one.
Yeah.
So this is where like Joey Vasquez fits in there, and he's like, oh, I'm going to draw this issue, and once he's been taking off, doing a lot more. But this is like Jordan's door into the Marvel universe.
Yeah, this is foot.
This is not me critiquing it. That's why I'm still saying it's fresh. I said it was fresh. This is my critique with Marvel and why they try to force this plot point. Like, this is a Marvel situation, and the fact that he did it in a way that, you know, Jordan could really expand this and make it into its own thing.
Yes.
It's something that doesn't make sense. Marvel should fix it, and the only way to fix it is let Jordan tell the story.
And I will say, I think it's also refreshing to see a writer with a distinctive voice that I'm picking up on already. Just because being familiar with Jordan's comedy, I feel like he wrote the way that he acts, or the way that like his sentence structure is. Like, it was a lot of like, well, oh shit, you know, expletives.
But that's kind of who Fred is. So I feel like this pairing works.
Yeah.
Like, when I talk about writers who don't really fit the mold, like, I really don't like Dan Slott doing Fantastic Four because it just felt like Spider-Man all over again. But Dan Slott doing Spider-Man, I liked. You know, Chip doing Spider-Man, I love.
Yeah.
This here, I kind of like this Fred Myers Spider-Man thing. Like, especially with the Carnage. Now, you understand the thought bubbles was like in the Carnage movie
Yeah.
and the Venom movie where he
Yes.
talks to him, right?
Yes, I did get that.
Who's
And I love that back and forth.
So, as you know, the voice talks and says things like, I know it's Eddie Brock, but it's always been like a monster voice of some voice. Whose voice are you picturing as the Blob? Is it Jordan's? Is Jordan the voice of this Venom character?
It is now. My wife left me for a Transformer.
My wife left me for a Venom. Now this Venom gets introduced like I said, they find this container. Fred gets infected with this new Venom, which his new name is Parasite.
Passenger.
Oh, Passenger. His name is Passenger, which I don't know. It doesn't sound like a cool symbiote name. Like, we've got Sorrow and Slasher and Agony, Agony,
Agony.
Okay, an agony.
Watched him in a stroke on camera.
So there's that.
There is that.
There are a lot of Venoms.
Yeah.
And the fact that like we got rid of all the Venoms, like there was a whole event where like we're getting rid of all the Venoms, and now it's like, oh, we gotta bring them all back. And
we killed them all off. We gotta bring them all back.
This is interesting that this is a comedy villain, such as like Deadpool would be.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is the same for you, but when you think of Venom, do you think good guy or bad guy?
Good guy with an edge.
See, I've grown up with him as a bad guy, and then as an adult watched him become a good guy for a lot of years, and I was like, this is weird. And then he became a bad guy for like not even a couple of years. It's been like 2 years. And now he's back to being a kind of good bad guy. Like, we could be both. So maybe that's the sweet spot of Venom, is that he is that good with a little bit of evil. Because Fred could do good. He likes money and things too much.
Yeah, like,
and he needs things.
He was like, I was way too good at crime. I wasn't gonna give that up. And I was like, you do you. Which is also what Passenger said. You keep doing crime.
You keep doing you. I'm just gonna sit here as a passenger. Because I was the passenger when my wife left me with a Transformer. I'm just picturing him in the Transformers, see as a passenger.
This is part of the divorce.
Part of the divorce is I got sucked to the Marvel Universe.
So obviously from my fangirl reaction, I rated this as a fresh also. And you know what else I saw? And you know what else I thought was fresh this week?
What?
Issue number 2 of Muppets Noir.
I didn't know this book came out.
No, but if there's gonna be Muppet related anything, of course we are going to find out.
So yeah, I found that and I was like, Amy, take a look. I read it. Oh, gosh, you go first because I was laughing too hard because I won't be able to get through it. I'm just gonna be laughing because I thought it was seriously some of the funniest jokes I ever laughed at. And as we've talked about before, we have a Muppet rule. If you're looking for true love, you need to find someone who loves the Muppets as much as you do. And I think this comic would be a good test to see if you fit into that without watching a Muppet movie. Here's a Muppet comic to figure that out.
Yes, and if anybody's going to find out anything about a Muppet property, of course we're going to talk about it.
That's right. Robin heard of Muppets. He came down.
He came running. Yes, so very cute concept. We're back at the Muppet Show, getting ready for another show. Kermit's been running ragged. He's tired. While he's taking a little break, he gets bumped on the noggin while he's reading a private eye novel.
And he gets beluked. And he suffers a concussion. And he ends up in the parallel universe where now he is part of the investigation. And his name is Flip Mellows. Minnows.
Flip Minnow.
I was trying to think of whatever that fish was called. His name was almost Fish Salmon, but I knew that was wrong.
Fish Salmon.
My name is Fish Salmon, see? But who?
But yes, so as Flip Minnow is a private eye, he gets a job from one of the big pie manufacturers all around. The heir to the big pie fortune, Meringue Crustworthy, has just disappeared, and we gotta find her or else Robin goes crazy. He's very upset.
He wants me to hold him, but only upstairs.
Yes.
So if we're holding him, we're going upstairs.
But we see all of our favorite Muppets, cast in these private eye roles. For some reason, Kermit's like allergic to pies where he passes out.
I don't understand this. Why is he allergic to pies? Like, I know it's like a dream concussion thing, but like, why pies?
I don't
really know. When has pies ever been a like thing where Kermit's
like, where's the canon for that?
Yeah, where did pies come from? Because last I checked, we loved pies.
Yes.
Why are we not against pies? Like, why not something? I don't know, something Muppet related, something that would have like.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So.
Or at least they haven't built it up to whatever punchline they want to have it at just yet.
Yep. So he's.
But he's doing a gumshoe. He's hitting the pavement, investigating. Thoroughly enjoy. What is it? Fozzie O'Brien.
The police jokes are the best. I think you're a criminal. Come with me before I think you're gonna commit another crime.
Yes.
I like the Muppets. I think it's funny. There are some really laugh out moments with Sam.
Yes.
There are Fozzie O'Bear is hilarious. I don't like the artwork when we're outside the Muppet Theater. It kind of looks kind of janky, kind of weird.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, as much as I like the story, the artwork at times takes me a little out of it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out who this is and the fact that Miss Piggy is appearing, but like, are we supposed to know, or is she a cousin? Like, I don't like that when comics are like, it's this person in disguise. Am I supposed to be like Blue's Clues and be like, where's the notebook? Where's the cat, kids? Can you point to the cat? I do like the story. I just think it's kind of funny. I don't like the Blue's Clues nature of it. Like, oh, it's her.
Yes. I will say one of the nice things about reading a comic and seeing like a phone conversation that's going on.
That's the stuff I'm loving.
Yeah.
Like the little jokes of this cat. She's got the cat. He's got mice at his house. The cat sees his mice and decides, ooh, I want to eat those mice, and goes across the page to eat it.
Like stuff like that is funny.
There are some really Muppet Gold moments that make me go, I love this. It's not the greatest thing, but in a world without Muppet things, this is the closest we've got. Yep. I'll take it.
Yep.
I just fix the drawing a little bit. I think like maybe a new artist. Sorry, but it's just too weird. As the Noir part looks great. It's just in the Muppet Theater, just like Wardoff and Warstan look
Statler
terrible.
And Waldorf. Yeah, they look
more like Chucky dolls.
Yeah. So let's talk about our two.
Yeah, the twos. As you know, we have a rating system. Fresh to death. And the death is never meant as they should get any kind of hate mail. It's just things I didn't like about the book. I didn't transfer well. Maybe I didn't like your art. Maybe the story's just been told so many times. Nothing against you personally, but everyone swings and miss, and unfortunately, someone has to set the standard.
It might as well be you.
So where's our twos?
Yeah, our twos. I'm gonna say the Twilight Zone issue that came out this week.
Okay.
And I know that I am a diehard Twilight Zone fan. I come from Rod Serling country.
I didn't know what that meant till now. Please explain for everyone who is not from this area.
Yes, so in the greater Binghamton area, Rod Serling, creator of the Twilight Zone, was born in the Binghamton area, graduated from Binghamton High School, and even has the auditorium in Binghamton High School named after him. But now there's also an official
There's like a
statue, yeah, which I still need to visit. But yeah, and you'll hear throughout the series towns named in upstate New York like Cortland, Syracuse, Utica. So yeah, the issue that I read this week, the whole premise was this woman is just having a hard time getting out of her funk, her depression. One of her friends says, well, why I have it together is because I have no choice. I have children. Maybe you need something that relies on you. So she's like, okay, I'm not just going to throw a baby into this mix. I don't think it'd be fair for a pet. Robin doesn't think it'd be fair for a pet either. So she gets a plant. And boy howdy brings a whole different meaning to the phrase plant baby.
You'd like to know why? Could we eat it like grass?
You could, but that might be murder or herbicide. Nobody really knows. But this plant that she adopts is actually it's like a mandrake from Harry Potter where they pull it out of the ground and it's like a baby. Not the ear-piercing scream, but it's a baby. So over the course of a month, this baby starts growing and she's trying to make it legit. She's trying to take it to a park and play with other kids, and all the parents are like, that is not human.
Is it green?
It's in black and white.
Oh, so you can't tell.
You can't tell what. There's no colors, but yes, Robin, he rated it a 2 because he left, and I feel the same way. It was a neat idea, but all I kept thinking about was this is a little snippet from Harry Potter that somebody just expanded on.
Gotcha.
And it is odd, but this is my problem with any remake of Twilight Zone. You can't just make up things and then just stick it under Twilight Zone. It's got to have that same feeling of lessons and consequences, and I kind of feel like this one was hollow and just sort of put out under the Twilight Zone name.
As someone who is a Twilight Zone expert, I would say that you get to say that. You get your stamp. Yeah. Okay.
Now, with that being said, as is with the rest of the Twilight Zone series, you've got different actors, different scripts, different everything coming in for this next issue. And I actually took a peek. Actually, I'm a little excited to see the next issue because it's going to be written by Tony Felice, who's been doing Feral. So I'm curious to see where that's going to turn out.
Which, that book is out. I love it. I get it. But I have such a hard time watching it. Yeah. And because one of the cats gets infected and I can't get any further because I don't want to know what happens.
Makes us too sad.
It makes me way too sad. I've never read a book and just been I'm too sad to read this. Especially Robin was in that little mode of oh, we kind of need a rabies shot. Like, we're getting close. And I'm like, how have we determined how effective this vaccine is? Like, we just say, oh, come back in a couple of years. You'll be fine. And I'm like, well, is it technically a couple of years? But, technically it runs out a month before time. But, the chances of them getting hurt is 0 kind of thing. That's always in the back of my mind.
Oh, same.
So when he's seeing all the bunnies hop across the yard, I'm like, no. Saturday,
Death.
Saturday, we finish your shots. You're going to get them. You need to just chill and be good. But he's outside, like, looking at the rabbits going, I'm going to get you.
Can't wait to eat you.
Got you. That's what I think he's doing now, is telling us the rabbits are outside. He needs to go out. My Mad Book was Iron Man issue 4. We're continuing with this journey of finding Iron Man and making the correct villain size Iron Man, but like, it's not working. And all I'm thinking about is Peter Parker is in space right now in the Amazing Spider-Man books. Well, not like right now. I'm a couple months behind. I was trying to get caught up, but like, apparently this Death Spiral book happens like within the last couple of months. Like, and we're just jumping into it. Like, I guess everything I'm reading now doesn't matter, which kind of makes me upset. Like, why am I reading this if we're just going to jump into a future state or a thing of like, hey, you're back and we'll find out what happens to you later. It just feels cheap to me. Like, we're in the middle of a story and like, he's going to do something. He's going to find his way home. And then next thing, he's been home for a while.
Yeah.
It just seems, I don't like it. And that's what it seems like it's doing, but I haven't read it yet. I'm a few issues behind. Anyway, Spider-Man has been trapped in space. He is like, what do? I don't have any Spider-Man powers. Like, I don't have a laboratory to make my webs, because he uses web-based fluid. He doesn't make his own fluid.
Right.
So he goes into the lab, figures out what to do, and makes his own Spider-Man suit. And I'm like, this is the same plot as Iron Man. You're putting him into a situation that's impossible to get out of, a pressure cooker, and then you get a hero or a villain. I just kind of don't know where this story's going with Iron Man, and I'm kind of getting frustrated. Like, what am I reading? Like,
yeah.
And now there's an advanced Iron Man that shows up at the end, and the Fixer is involved. So I'm like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of the kids, and everyone gets an upgrade Iron Man suit. Everyone takes Iron Man suits and upgrades them all the time and goes, look, Tony, I took your Stark armor and impressed it and made it better. And they're like, he's like, yeah, but you didn't account for your hardware handling all that mass. Can you do the YMCA like I can? And he's like, of course I can. Oh no, I couldn't do the Y. That's why we keep on trying to get someone to do the YMCA, because if we can get the arms extended. It's the plan the whole time. The whole time. I heard through the rumblings, because you were like, how does the death books work? How do we want to discuss death? Because I want to discuss the death book. So you have a death book you want to give me.
Oh, speaking of why in the YMCA, I was going, why was this book written? Why was this book written?
What book is that?
It is Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla.
I saw this and said, oh, I know what this is going to be. I'm good. Because it seems to be a Godzilla story, and I did not read this. So.
Oh, okay. Do you want to guess?
No, I am going to guess what happens.
Okay.
It's called Romeo and Juliet. So I'm going to guess that it's either a play or it might be the actual Romeo and Juliet. And they're doing their own Romeo and Juliet, and in the background, Godzilla's stamping around and being like, I'm destroying this. And like the opposite families of like Godzilla's on like the Romeo side, and then like the bad guys have the a monster they found, and we're going to destroy that empire. And Godzilla's there like to keep the peace, and he's like, I'm Godzilling over here. So Godzilla's Godzilling while the people are just doing Shakespeare in the background.
That is like 98% right on.
Was it a play or the actual Romeo and Juliet?
Actual Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
That being said, I can't remember. You did not read Romeo and Juliet in high school.
No, I read in college.
Okay. What the hell is his name? His friend that gets stabbed and dies. Romeo's Mercutio.
Oh yeah, because I think his name's Maraschino. I call him Maraschino.
Mercutio.
Okay, I call him Maraschino, but
So Mercutio, as we know during the sword fight, he gets stabbed and dies. Well, in this version, he gets hit with Godzilla flames and turns into a pile of ash. But before he does that, he goes, "I'm playing on both your houses." He blows away in the wind. Honestly, this whole book felt exactly like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, where like it wasn't really enhanced. They just plunked in a bunch of random things.
that's my problem with Godzilla books is Godzilla goes to Tokyo. All right, Godzilla's doing his thing, smashing buildings, and then we tell a story about how these people are fighting against tyranny or against this thing, and Godzilla just is inadvertently helping. Like, he's always been the guardian of the world. He's almost like the Watcher from the Marvel universe, except he gets to destroy stuff. Like, I'm in a world of bad. I get to smash things. I help you
Yeah,
all
like,
die. Like, he only gets to appear during world events. Like, it's time.
Yeah, like that was basically like they were running around and being like, "Oh, I love you, Romeo. We're gonna get married." Blah blah blah. And then why somebody didn't get a message is because Godzilla squashed on them as he was walking through. And then that person's dead. So it's just like little things plunked in here and there. And I'm like, this didn't do anything to enhance the telling of Romeo and Juliet. I want to know more about anything, what Godzilla was really getting into. And his fight with Mothra, because Mothra popped around. So, like, it had the building blocks of being an okay book, but it was just lazy.
Welcome to the world of Godzilla. That's why I like that the Marvel has it, because I think this null thing that they're doing is going to be cool.
Yes.
So, I mean, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a death.
Yeah, well, what's even worse is that there's another issue coming out.
Oh, no.
Not of Romeo and Juliet, but this time it's going to be Robin Hood and Godzilla.
So it's just gonna. So if
all the classics.
If I can predict what happens, Robin Hood is going to be doing his Robin Hood things during one of their Robin Hood raids. Godzilla's gonna come through, and all of a sudden, everyone's gonna get exposed, and they're like, "All right, now is the time. We got to take over the king. Like, this is the time. Godzilla will help us," and Godzilla will inadvertently help them. Why King Richard has his own like secret evil Godzilla he's been keeping at his bay. Like, you want to know about this Robin Hood, but I've got Rodon.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
So while you were telling me that, I think I came up with what I want the actual Godzilla Robin Hood book to be.
All right, let's hear it.
I think I want Robin Hood to be normal guy, but like Little John be Godzilla and Robin Hood thinking that's totally normal. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
So like a Pete's Dragon situation where he's like, come on, Godzilla, let's have fun.
No, come on, Little John. And he's like, "Arrgh!"
There was a Godzilla series like that. It was Godzilla and Godzuki. And there was this little kid who used to, like, he'd be like, Godzuki, come help us. And then Godzuki would be like, okay, here I come. And he'd be like, I'm here. And like, we need help. And he'd be like, Daddy, ooh, 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 daddy, ooh, 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 and like this smoke would come out of his mouth. I cannot find it anywhere. Like I can only find like the Japanese versions, but the American versions are where it's at because the voiceovers are just because the kid literally is. You can just tell like it's just someone being like, "Oh no, Godzilla's here! Godzilla, help us!" Okay, I'm a coming over. Like they got Bill Farmer. It was like, "Can you do Goofy?"
Yes. But man, now I just want that to be the book. And if it's not the book, I feel like I'm setting myself up for disappointment already.
Boom, boom, boom.
Remains to be seen.
And with that, those are all the comics we thought were worthy enough to talk about. Like I said, Spider-Man's doing his death spiral, but like the Web of Venom is a nice jumping on point. I don't know what's happening, but it was fun to read.
Yes. So that was definitely a fresh. And I am very thrilled that we went and picked that up. And I'm very thrilled that we got that Peach Momoko cover. Let us know what you guys have been reading. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Smash that like button.
write us a comment.
Send us a smoke signal. Carrier pigeon.